Now, I need some assistance now. The opposite side of the road, when the evacuees came down, they all came down by train, and they all allocated a house and a carer. But I think there was about 6 evacuees that had nowhere to go, and I think they all went in the big house, opposite side of the road. Can anybody confirm that or not? No?
Yes, somebody said yes.
Nobody?
Someone said yes. Somebody said yes at the back.
No? Right. So we go farther up Windmill Road. We get to top of Windmill Road and we turn to the right. And the first farm we come to, which is Market Garden Farm, Washington's Valley Farm. Those days, most Market Garden farms were Brussels producers. The Brussels producers would turn up, didn't know what the weather was like, how cold it was. The first thing they would do is stick their hands in a bucket of cold water. They'd then go Brussels picking. When they stopped for, and I think it's a Flitwick word, they'd stop for their bather, which is a break. They'd find a hedge out of the wind, and they would sit down, and the wives would have made them a bottle of cold tea, not a flask, a bottle of cold tea. They would also bring with them one of these. This is a beverage clanger. Everybody's seen one. You start to eat it on the right-hand side, and it's savoury. It might be a bit of ham, a bit of cold meat, might be a bit of old stew and steak. It could be anything. And then when you get 2/3 down it, it changes. Maybe a stuff with apple, might be a bit of raspberry jam. But that is an actual Bedfordshire clanger. It's still frozen, I've had it in my fridge. We cross the road now, and there's another farm, Kiln Farm, run by the Jealousies. Same sort of products, Market Garden. We then come up a little bit, there's a field on the right-hand side where the mosquito came down. And if you like to look outside, they bought replica of the plane, models, etc. They'll all explain it to you. But what I do know, I was one of the first to be there on my bicycle, and I asked, how can I be there? Why wasn't I at school? And the answer was, it was Saturday morning. Leading on from that, I think why he landed there was because when you take the pilot's test, the instructor will close the throttle down and say, engine failure. You've got to tell him straight away, we'll land in that field just there, and recite to him the 6 S's. The 6 S's are the site, the size of the site, shape of the site, surface of the site, and the slope on the site. The 6th S is a C, civilization. And when he landed there, he complied with all those 6 S's. We then come to the entrance to the wood, and just past the entrance to the wood, there was what they called the marl pit, M-A-R-L-E. All villagers could go there with a wheelbarrow, dig it in the wheelbarrow, take it home, and put it on their allotment or the garden. We go a bit farther along, we come to the start of Stocking's Path. I'll try and show you where Stocking's Path went, if I can do it. We're down Stepping Road, look, down outside Windmill Road, and the Stocking's Path went direct, straight from there, down to the school just there. If I just quote this, in any right-angled triangle, the square root of the hypotenuse, that's the path, equals the sum of the square of the other 2 sides. The distance we would walk going on that straight line, rather than walking down to the bridge, then turning from the bridge down to the school, was quite a lot. The market gardeners that worked the farm was Donald Webb and Bill Sharp. On the way to school, if there's nobody around, it was carrot time. We'd pinch some carrots, wipe on the trousers, eat them, and carry on. Likewise with the peas, when it's peas in time, we'd have a handful of peas. So I'll come back now to the start of Stockings. We carry on down Stepney Road, and we come across a market gardener on the left-hand side, where he grew cucumbers and tomatoes. His name was, I forget his name now.
Did Tolly
Washington?
No.
Dallas?
Yeah.
That's it, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper. Right. We then go a little bit farther along, and we come to a carpenter. The carpenter specialised in making coffins. If you had a bereavement, I think his name was Mr. Cox, and he would make the coffin for you. If you was interested in music, you'd go a little bit farther along, and it was a Mrs. Crisp, gave you piano lessons and music lessons.
I was one of those people.
Somebody's been there, well done. Yeah. Mrs. Crisp,
Yes.
on the piano,
Yes.
well done, thank you.
And then 2 generations followed.
So we come back down to the bottom of Windmill Road again. On the right-hand side was the fish shop. Now, I don't know when the fish shop became solely from fish to a fish and chip shop with the cookers. I don't know when the ovens came. I do know that on a Thursday, the Mr. Cole would telephone Billingsgate Fish Market and say, I want X number of haddock, X number of cod, etc., etc. The fishing boats would land in Hull, Grimsby and Lowestoft on the Thursday night, maybe 8 o'clock. We'd put on the train, we'd come down to the fish market in London, Billingsgate. It would then come on the train in the morning, the goods train, the goods van, and Mr. Cole would meet the goods van, and that fish would be delivered on the Friday morning. So within 14 hours, from being landed on the fish, on the coast, it was in your desk. Right. A little bit farther on the right-hand side, we come to another butcher, Mr. Feasy. Next door to him was his brother, Harold Feasy. Electricians, he wanted a fuse, he wanted a light bulb, electric fire, that's no doubt where you go. A little bit farther on, we come across to the Blackbirds. The pub, I think, was then run by the Hardtups. The car park of the Blackbirds was where the village fair came twice a year. The opposite side of the road was an interesting place. It was a timber building. It was run by Mrs. Inskip. That was haberdashery. A lot of wives were either sewers or knitters or Bedfordshire lace, and that's where they're going by the raw materials. A little bit farther up, we come across Dawson's shop, which is now, I think, a sports shop. If you wanted a bed, or you wanted a table, kitchen chair, that's where you go. Next door to that was Riddles, another grocer, the same thing with a piece of paper, exactly the same. Now, a lot of housewives then would write their order on a postcard and post it. And the husband would post the postcard in the morning on his way to work. We then had 2 posted, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Often your order would be, get on the post in the afternoon, they would collect it, sort it, and they'd give it to Mr. Short. Now Mr. Short had a bicycle with a steel basket on the front, and he would pedal around and deliver it. We now got the Ridgeway. We got the Ridgeway, on the left-hand side, there was Phillips, the transport company. We then got a bit farther, and I think it was perhaps the 60s or 70s, when Dr. Duncan built the surgery. It's now vet surgery. We go right to the end of the road, and we come to the Pussy Pond. It's called the Pussy Pond because of the pussy willow trees. This is where we would go fishing as boys with a bin pin and a piece of cotton trying to catch something. But it kept us out of trouble. We come back down the Ridgeway and we go straight across the road, and there was a railway carriage at right angles to the road. It had no rolling stock, no wheels. The first 3/4 of it was a greengrocer's. The next part was a cobbler's. When your shoes, it wasn't a throwaway shoe day, you had them repaired. Be it Phillips thick or sole, or if you wore down the heel on the wall, he would put a steel tag in there so you kept it straight.
He was my great-grandfather.
Pardon?
John Bolts was my great-grandfather.
Was it? Lovely. Thank you. Next door to that was the pub, and I can't think what the publican's name was.
Daniel.
Wheat sheaf.
Who?
Daniel.
Wheat sheaf.
Was it? Yeah, the wheat sheep. I've got a question mark Daniels, but I could be wrong there. I think it was a market gardener as well. So we carry on up the high street. On the left-hand side, we come to the sandpit. The sandpit was taken over by Skefco and used as a dump for oil and grindings. I spent many hours in the sandpit, on the vertical walls of the sandpit, watching the sand martins making holes to lay their eggs in their nests. And it's still a marvel to me how a bird can be flying at 10, 15, 20 miles an hour when it goes in the hole, within 6 inches it'll stop without damaging its beak or anything. We come a bit farther along the road, and we come to doctor's surgery, a Dr. Howe. You turned up at 6 o'clock in the evening in the waiting room, and you were seen before you left at night. Most people had an insurance, and a man called Eddie Allen would come round and collect his money each week or each month for hospital treatment. You either did it through insurance or you paid for it. If you've got nothing like that, then you had to go without, I'm afraid, until the National Health Service came in the early 50s. We go a bit farther along the road and we come to Crawley's, wholesale fruit and vegetable merchants. And alongside of Crawley's, there was a road, a small entrance, which went to Miss Hetley's school. The school would be somewhere near where the surgery is today. Now then.
I went there.
Pardon?
I went to visit.
You been there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Now
I
then,
was 5.
there's a lady, unfortunately she's no longer with us. Her maiden name was Thelma Beale, and her maiden name was Thelma Palmer. She went there, and her parents took over the Crown Public House. Miss Hetley said to the parents, you'll have to take your daughter away from my school. I'm not having a publican's daughter come into my school. That gives you a rough idea what the school was like. We now come to the middle of Flitwick, and I'll hand over now to Chrissy.
Thank you.